Google Stadia. Oof. Google. Google, you're killing you. You're not killing me. You're killing you. Google Stadia announced their lineup, their initial lineup of 12 games, and then they also did an AMA. How about Ryan? That's only part of it. When I envisioned this topic, the topic was going to be that Google announced the 12 games that were going to be available to lineup, and they are lackluster to say the least. It turns out it got worse in the time from I was going to do this topic until now. It got worse because at some point, hold on, I have an article here from Ars Technica. Looks like they decided to do an AMA, which is an Ask Me Anything on Reddit, and they wanted to take questions, and they wanted to basically answer a bunch of questions, because I think Monday is Stadia coming out. So they answered a bunch of questions, and they got a bunch of information out, and the information is a disaster because there's a whole slew of features that are not going to be available until next year. So basically, you're only getting access to the games at 1080p, 60 frames per second, without any of the cool features. So I have a list here. Like I said, this is from Ars Technica. If I remember right, I will. If you're watching this on YouTube, I will try to remember to post this article. But Ars Technica, Google Stadia, you can do a search for that and you'll have it. Here's a brief rundown of the limitations early adopters will face on day one. Day one, PC Chrome gameplay won't support 4K HDR or 5.1 surround sound. That feature will be added in 2020 for PC players. Stream Connect, which allows one player's Stadia viewpoint to be integrated with another's, will not be available at launch. So this is a Stream Connect thing where you all can see what I'm doing. Not going to be available. This is a big one for me anyway. I thought this was a very cool feature. It's not going to be there. State Share, which lets users share save files via links, and Crowd Play, which allows for quick jump-in multiplayer through a YouTube stream, won't be integrated into games until next year. I thought those were very important streaming features for Twitch and YouTube streamers. They're not even going to be there. Google's Assistant integration will be limited to the ability to turn on the TV and start a game. So basically, they have like Google Assistant, and it's gonna be able to turn your TV on. Family sharing, which lets you buy a game once and share it with accounts held by family members, is not supported on day one. So you have to buy games for your child's account. So basically, if you have multiple people, you're going to need to buy multiple games. The family share thing is not going to be available. No Stadia UI for achievements, which, if you care about achievements, that sucks. If you don't care about achievements, whatever. If you happen to perform an in-game feat that would earn you a specific achievement, it will show up when the feature is rolled out shortly after launch. So if I earn a whole bunch of trophies, am I going to get one long string of achievements? That's going to get annoying. I mean, it's a small thing, but it's going to get annoying. Chromecast Ultra units included in the Founders Premier bundles are the only ones that will work with Stadia day one. Other Chromecast Ultra units will be available to play Stadia games after an over-the-air update soon after launch. Okay, so you need the Ultra unit that comes from them. The Buddy Pass that lets early adopters offer a free 3-month Stadia. Well, yeah, I remember it will be sent to... So you can't offer your Buddy Pass to somebody until like 2 weeks later. 2 weeks after you receive the bundle. 2 weeks after you receive your bundle, barring some unknown unknowns popping up. Way to build in a delay. And I'm sorry I'm missing chat right now. I'm trying to read all of these. Currently, the phone is needed for initial setup and buying games. So basically, they're not going to have a UI for buying games, which is fine because, don't you all have phones? I'm sure that worked the last time Blizzard said that, right? Mobile support will be limited to Google Pixel phones. So if you plan on using your mobile device, you need a Google Pixel phone or a Chrome OS tablet. Previously discussed, Stadia's controller wireless functions will only work with Chromecast Ultra. So if you have the wireless controller, you have to plug it in unless you're using the Chromecast Ultra that you got from them. As previously discussed, only 12 titles will be available for purchase on Stadia at launch, with 14 more promised by the end of the year. A handful of other previously announced launch window titles on Stadia are planned for early 2020. Good. There's a few more here. I'm not really going to get into some of these. A lot of these are, they talk about the rates that you're going to need, which is a whole separate issue that we'll talk about. So right off the bat, with all of that stuff, it's disastrous. You're already not going to get a whole bunch of features that you were promised. Fine. Did you see my theory about? No, I was missing. You really got a PC version. It's got awful. Now, see, real edgy. I don't know. I don't know about that. It's an interesting theory, but I don't know about that. But the 12 games were also announced. Here are the 12 games. Let's yikes. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I don't really think anybody cares that much. Destiny 2, which is apparently a free game. I've heard people say that is a free to access game. But not on Stadia. The article might as well say, if you want to have fun with this, you'll have to buy that separately starting next year. Yeah, fun not included yet. So Destiny 2, Gylt, GYLT, which I remember seeing before. I don't think that's a system seller. Just Dance 2020, and we all know, oh my God, we go crazy for our Just Dance games. Kine. Or it's either Kine or Kine. Kine. I don't know what that game even is. For some reason, it looks like a piano game. I don't know. Mortal Kombat 11 and Samurai Showdown. Fighting games are very twitchy. Fighting games require very strong connections and no input lag. So I don't see those being the preferred way to play either one of those games. Red Dead Redemption 2, which is arguably the most enticing game on here. Thumper, which I think was like a fast-paced sort of on rail sort of racing or moving game. I don't even know what to call that. And then Tomb Raider. It looks like we've got all three versions of the modern Tomb Raider. So we got regular Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider. To me, those are the most interesting games on that selection. Here's the problem. Red Dead Redemption 2 came out earlier this year and just recently came out on PC. I'm pretty sure I'm looking at the list. I'm pretty sure that's the newest game on this list. You don't have any game whatsoever to really entice somebody to try and play this thing. It is the equivalent of a brand new system coming out, and the 12 games that are released on release date are just ports of games from the system before. To me, that is exactly what this feels like. There is nothing new on this. Now, all of that could potentially be forgiven, except for the fact, and Ryan said it right there, that you have other services like Game Pass that are already doing something like this. They're already doing it better. Yes, you typically would have, if you want to play it like a console, you would have to buy something to play it on, which, an Xbox or something like that. But you have to buy a Chromecast in order to play this on your TV. So, at its core, Google Stadia is comparable to playing on your PC, not playing on your TV, because that's what they're selling it as. They're selling it as like the video game experience, but you don't need to go out and buy a console. But I already don't need to go out and buy a console because I can play on my computer, which I already have. Uh, so I don't need to go out and buy a console. I need to go out and buy a console if I want to play Nintendo games. Because Nintendo games are the dominant first party out there. And their games are awesome anyway. Isn't this the same? It's the same thing that killed the Vita. It's in a small way, it's the same thing that killed the PSP Go, where there was no physical game and you were supposed to do everything online, and nobody wanted to do that. Stadia's biggest problem is the lack of exclusives. So there's no reason for anybody to get it, because all of the super hot, amazing features that would have been available, that would have made it more interesting to at least some people, aren't even going to be available. See, as a streamer, I mentioned before, what is it? State share. As a streamer, that's an interesting feature for me, because what I could do is load up my game. I could load up. Let's pretend we've got Death Stranding. Let's say Red Dead 2. Let's say we'll pick a game that's actually on there. Let's say Red Dead 2, or you know what? Let's pick Tomb Raider, because I'm more likely to play a Tomb Raider game. I could be playing a Tomb Raider game and I could have trouble getting past this area, and my chat could be trying to help me, or my chat could be saying, "Oh, well, you just suck at the game. You're not good at it." So I could say, "Hold on a second here. Save my state. Share my state with all of you. You all could load up your Google Stadias, and assuming you've still got some bandwidth left, load up the game, start exactly where I am, and say, all right, you're so good at the game, you play it." And then you can see for yourself. You guys can play along with me. You can try and do that myself. Or I could have a puzzle and not figure out how to do the puzzle, and I could share my state with everybody, and everybody could say, "Oh, okay, I figured it out. I got everybody working on the puzzle. Somebody's figured it out. They share their state with me, so I continue from there, or everybody helps." It's a very communal feature, and it's not going to be there. So what the hell's the point? There's nothing here that makes this an attractive product. And what is attractive is easily already being done by other people. Us PC master race don't need to be bothered by that. I still want to get the PSP Vita for Lunar. I have enough bandwidth to become my own streaming server. Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's the other issue. All of this is ignoring the other issues, primarily that you've got to have the bandwidth to be able to perform all of this, to do all of this stuff. You've got to be, what is it, like 90 something? I think they were saying like 90 something megs per second or something, like some number like that, which is doable. Let me see if it's here. 15 gigs an hour. I mean, you're gonna get throttled. That's the real issue, is that you're gonna get throttled here. Data uses might reach 20. Wait, at the highest visual quality, the Stadia app warns that data usage might reach 20 gigabytes an hour. That's above some previous estimates that estimated 15.75 gigabytes an hour. Yikes. That's, considering that your ISP is going to start throttling you somewhere between 500 gigs and a terabyte. You're going to run out of quality internet very quickly. Yeah, your ISP has to be very, very generous. And Google already said that they think your ISP is going to make up for this. So no, they're not. They're not going to do it for free. At the very least, I'm going to tell you that. There's just nothing here. There's no features. And mind you, all of the game. And remember, the games are still going to cost you like $60, or some high price. There's nothing here. There's no edible meat on any of this. It's just junk. And that's what I think people are going to realize very fast. I think very quickly people are going to realize what little there is either already being done much more effectively, or there is nothing else there to begin with. it's real weird. It's strange because we talked before about the idea of gaming as a service, and I remember saying before, if anybody has the network and the chops to do this, it's Google. So how is Google doing it so wrong? You in a semi-good experience? Yeah. Yeah, xCloud, Game Pass. That's it. That's all you really need. But it's got a new hat. Yeah, after eating burgers, would you want? Well, it depends on what you like more. Yeah, I don't know. I really think this is going to be dead on arrival. I think they're going to tough it out for the full reveal, the full rollout, which is, within 6 months, because I don't think it's rolling out in the UK for a little while. I don't remember exactly. No, I'm thinking of Disney Plus. But they said early next year is going to be more games. I think they're going to get out the first batch of games, and they're going to get out these 12. They're going to get out the next batch. They're going to get out the ones next year. And I think within a year, they're going to say, we just can't support this anymore. We can't support. It's not making enough money. I was watching another YouTuber, a YouTuber, and they asked the question of how many people is it going to take to make this lucrative? And I don't think there's any kind of install base that is going to support this in a lucrative way. I do not think 1 million people are going to sign up for this. I don't think 100,000 people are going to sign up for this. And if they do, they're going to drop it really fast because they're going to realize it doesn't work. Google may be able to do this, but they probably don't know how to do it correctly. John Pancho, I don't know that they know how to do it correctly because I don't know that anybody has done it on this scale, which is why you don't shoot for the moon first. You're better off doing something like Game Pass, something that is already established, and trying to expand it into a different way. Doing all of this brand new is never going to function properly. Half a year. Trios gives it half a year. It's basically like stereotypical 3D. It's not going to be good. It never will be good. It'll never be a thing. It'll be DOA. No, but they're gonna try. Sunk cost fallacy. That's your phrase of the day. Is sunk cost fallacy. Go ahead and look that up. And if you're not familiar with that term already, that is Google Stadia's motto at this point. I'm gonna go watch my sister play Pokemon Shield for a bit. I might be back later, depending Sosira. Later, Aqua. Have a good one. Thank you for stopping in. Fallout 76. It's alive, but it's probably better off dead. Yeah, you build up to this, John Poncho. You work your way up to this. You don't start trying to do the whole thing. You get parts of it working, and then you go further and further and further. What, you all have money, right? Oh my God, Jeffersonia, could you imagine if they come out and said something like that? But we're going to switch topics here because Google Stadia is good. This topic is officially as dead as Google Stadia is going to be.